We're collecting bugs.
We're doing a bug blitz and we're collecting bugs. And
You get to hold snakes.
Yeah.
And plant trees.
Yeah. And we're doing stuff for the environment, so that's really good.
These students are helping to restore the Heart Morass, just outside the city of Sale in Gippsland, Victoria. The former farm is being restored by the Wet Trust, supported by Watermark, the Williamson Foundation and the Field and Game Association.
It's a 2,000 acre property and we're restoring it over the next decade or two.
Matt Bowler is the man in charge.
Safety.
Sale College teacher Kate Longstaff explains what a bug blitz is.
To get the kids out into the environment, their local environment especially, and really do some real science, some real work, make a difference in their own local environment, learn about the many species that are out here.
John Galdo runs Bug Blitz.
So we're really looking for some good probing questions.
Why are they called huntsmen?
Good science is about asking good questions which lead to good answers. The first thing to learn is what a healthy environment looks like.
They're built to live under the bark, they're flat. They'll come out from under the bark and they'll actively go hunting their prey.
Ron Reid leads the students on a treasure hunt to explore what makes up a healthy environment.
Pushed together. It always begs the question, what is it? What lives there? Think about
A good spread of plants and animals, including insects and spiders, arthropods, invertebrates,
something like this. A possum. Yeah.
as well as a range of animals, including
Feeding
possums.
on the little leaves at the tips of the trees. Now, why would he be doing that? They're fresh.
They're away from easy to eat.
Gum trees, one of the reasons they secrete or manufacture eucalyptus oil in the leaves is to make them untasteful for things that want to eat them. But the young leaves have got less oil in them. They're tastier. They're easier to digest.
The range of birds increases with the biodiversity, explains Peter Ware.
In this particular area, we've got the eastern rosellas as well that like hollows. We've got the big white sulphur-crested cockatoos. They like the hollows. There would be owls and owl-at nightjars that would nest and roost in these hollows.
Spitfires form one small part of the food chain.
Which are the larvae of the sawfly, which is a large fly. And they clump together for protection during the day and rear their tails up.
Get one?
And if you really upset them, they'll poop on you. And that's how they deter predators. They'll get much larger than that. These are only very young ones. Okay. Into the jar.
In this way, students collect and study a variety of arthropods.
Oh my gosh!
I found the bug.
Is it alive? Oh no! What?
Look it's there. See what's under there.
Oh, got it.
How many legs?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 legs. Therefore,
Insect.
therefore an insect. It's a cockroach.
Cockroach, yeah.
That's one of the native cockroaches. There are probably 100 or more native cockroaches.
I think it was down there.
And he's a handsome fellow, isn't he? A nice purple cockroach.
So what can help to restore the Heart Morass is a variety of trees to restore the balance in the number and diversity of insects and therefore frogs, reptiles, birds and so on.
We are going to
that.
plant these
Perfect
plants
for you.
over
There you go.
in the Heart Morass. Trees are good for, they produce oxygen and habitats like wildlife homes. It takes about 100 years for trees to get hollows in it. Hollows are good for breeding places for animals and that. Birds mainly, and possums.
Matt's instructed the students and they appreciate the more skillful a tree is planted, the greater its chance of survival.
Push it up. So there. Start putting good soil bit stuff in. Maybe get some grass bits. A lot of moisture. David.
If they're to grow that high, they need good water, of course. The students test the nearest stream, Flooding Creek, whether it's acidic, neutral or alkaline, its salinity, its turbidity, and first,
temperature. As soon as you take water out the creek, what happens? It will heat straight up.
by cutting down trees and vegetation from around the water sources, the water may get too warm for the bugs, fish and plants.
So if the water gets hot here, the fish and the bugs and the plants don't like it either. So trees overhang the creek and they cool the water down.
11.6 now.
Next, is the water healthy? That is, neutral, 7 on the scale, acidic, 0 to 6, or alkaline, 8 to 14 on the scale.
So what we're trying to look for is something around the neutral, the 7.
The indicator changes colour when dipped into water according to whether it's acidic, neutral or
And then pull
alkaline.
it back out. And then match it up to the colours on your container.
6.5.
Excellent.
7.
7.
Too much salt in the soil is bad for biodiversity. Students learn to measure the amount of salt with an electrical conductivity meter. The higher the reading, the saltier the soil. 0 to 250 is clean water, but Flooding Creek registers 700, which is reasonably salty. Trees can help here also to reduce salinity. Turbidity refers to how clear the water is, how many particles are suspended in the water. A good balance encourages the right kind of diversity of water bugs.
If you can't see the lines, you've gone too far and you need to tip a little water back out and try and gauge so that you can just barely see them.
Pour water into a container just enough to see the bottom of the tube. Then check the number on the side and record it.
28, Lauren?
28 shows the turbidity is high and so only good for tolerant bugs, whereas what's needed is a diversity of tolerant and sensitive bugs.
I've just caught some this morning and we have a lot of tolerant bugs in here. So that gives us an indication that the water's not as clean as we'd like it.
Magnifying glasses help identify the bugs in the water, and a check against the chart gives their names.
Sleeping bag caddis. If you go up to Cooper's Creek, you'll find.
A show and tell with an array of snakes, lizards and even crocodiles. Emily and Sean explain the role they play, their habitat and how to encourage or discourage them.
You'll notice a couple of things about him. He's got a few notches missing from his tail. A stumpy tail or two-headed lizard. And you can see he gets his name because its tail looks a lot like his head.
They're like all scaly and really warm, and I just love them.
Reptiles, snakes, birds and others eat frogs. Frogs eat insects and different frogs need different habitats. Learning to recognize them by their calls and what habitat they need can help in creating a healthy environment for them.
Growling grass frog. Probably would have heard this frog. Probably the most common frog that you see or hear.
That one's called the common froglet.
Got it, yeah. It's a whistling tree frog.
Whistling frog. Frog tree.
Different variety of frogs live in
Whistling
water,
tree frog.
on land, under logs or in trees.
Common froglet is the most common frog in Gippsland.
The Sale bug blitzers have learned how to create a healthy environment through biodiversity. A healthy spread of arthropods on land and in water, snakes and lizards, frogs, mammals and birds.
Everything depends on everything else to be a healthy environment. And I've learned about the systems and how some animals live, and just realised how endangered some animals are. Yeah, and I learned that frogs are a good indicator for the environment. Yeah, you grasp it better when you're actually in the environment than sitting in the classroom. It's good to have a change. Yeah, and you get to have fun and also do something for help.
To help restore the Heart Morass, they've planted trees in one small part of its 2,000 acres and learnt the reasons for doing so, which in years to come will restore this land into a healthy environment.